Alright guys, we're back again with another let's see how Twitch drops. Gonna be soon.
Hi guys, it's Bella back here again, and we have the champion for Ymir Cup World Championship Season 2. But that is not all because the festival is still yet to continue. King Server has claimed the title with perfect teamwork and powerful combat streak. But will they be able to create a dominant performance against the Korean server? That is what's waiting for us. A legend match with the pride of both servers is on the line. And before that history is written, we have another small gift for the users who have been waiting till this very moment. It's the World Championship Package Coupon. Enter the coupon that is currently shown at the bottom of the screen.
Oh,
You know the
nice.
drill. For the Korean users, make sure to add the tag KR at the end to redeem your share. And the match that will close out Ymir Cup World Championship Season 2 is about to begin. Champions King Server versus Korea Server. A battle with pride on the line for both servers. They are all ready to give everything and show us a true legend match. This is the battle for Ymir Cup World Championship Season 2, and we are going to go ahead over to our casters, G Clef and Wolf, for the final showdown.
Let's see what we got.
Thanks, fella. We're back with the legend match. We're calling it an event match, but this is a lot more pride on the line, Wolf. The winner, of course, it's all about the server. So champions versus the Korea server. Man, it's gonna be a spicy one.
And what form will the Korean server look like this season compared to last season is the big question, because obviously we've been watching Kings on their dominant run to the semifinals and the finals, but the Korea server, a little bit more of an unknown. We don't know what their style is going to look like, what their composition makeup is going to look like either.
Yeah, the World Championship winning server, the Kings and the Korean users will have the combat power somewhat matched 1-to-1. So this match will be somewhat unlike what we had so far. So matching in numbers, matching in powers, which means strategy comes in big into play, depending on which bases they take first. If they lose an extra life because of the matching power, if they lose one of those higher player power early on, then the game might just snowball from there.
I think on paper, this should be the closest match we've had for this entire Emir Cup, just because of the matched power levels, right? But we'll see if the strategy and the preparation that we've seen from Kings gives them a strategic edge, because the KR server, is waiting for the Legends match, right? But hasn't necessarily been practicing and coordinating together as much. But I think they're obviously great players and have been playing the game for a really long time and are quite experienced. So they have their own ideas about strategy as well.
Yep, and before we go into the match, though, we do have the extra coupon. One more coupon should pop out right
Okay.
here.
That's right. It's WCS2. That's the World Championship Season 2.
It's
WCS2
package.
Last Crown, or
Ooh, it's got Manny's Valkyrie
yes,
card in it, and also this Seer card. So make sure to put this in. This one's got a lot of chances for you.
and
So
don't forget, of course, to add KR to the end if you're on
Oh
the
yes,
KR server.
for
I
the
don't want
KR
anyone on the
server.
KR server, especially because a lot of Korean fans are watching, tuning in to see the Legend match.
Oh yeah,
I missed that. So
yeah,
add
type that in
KR.
chat so we can copy paste for everyone. So
Yes.
make sure to do that as well. Some enhancement stones. You can. It's not a chance. It's a selector There are some selectors, some rune chest as well. So I think this one's one of the better. Everything's pretty useful. I think this one's actually
it's a
like
good
the
one.
powerhouse upgrade material
And
inside
if you're
this
wondering
package.
how to redeem the codes, just simply log in and go to your settings and then go to
Mhm.
account, and there will be a coupon section
Yes.
there. So click the coupon and you can type the code and make sure you do it. It's case sensitive, do it the right way, and it should redeem for you just fine. I put a lot of codes in last night.
Yes, and still today we have a lot.
I got a lot more.
A lot of codes, a lot more codes, and then also subscribe to our YouTube right now because
Wow, we're getting up there.
We're getting up there, 200 more,
Very
and
close
we
to
will hit
hitting
that
90K.
90K. We're getting there. Everyone, subscribe right now. I subscribed 4 more yesterday. You mentioned it. I did.
He keeps subbing.
So
I've subbed
all of
everywhere
my
I
YouTube
can.
accounts, I've subbed. I'm sub 100%. So let's get all the way to at least 90K and maybe even up to 91K by the end of the broadcast. Please hit that subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. Do it right now. Ymir, you can follow us not just for end of season 2, all the updated news, the content, and also season 3 in the future as well. So keep us up to keep yourself updated with Ymir Cup and the Ymir game itself. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow up all the time.
Yeah, so you can be there when the next content drops, when we do have more announcements, and potentially Ymir Cup World Championship Season 3.
Oh,
potentially.
yes.
I mean, I'm not confirming or denying or anything. I'm just saying, you know, if you want to know when that's happening, that's where you're going to find out.
Oh, we already have Kings on stage! Introducing the players coming up to challenge the Kings of Season 2! Literally, the Kings! We have players coming from Korea server on stage!
Here they come. Finally get to meet the legends of Korea here on the stage as they take the stage here and look to bring glory here domestically to Korea, as Ymir Cup, of course, is a really, really exciting tournament, but there's just something about being able to defend yourself as Kings, for example, against these Korean legends. So I am very much looking forward to, especially with the rules that we have here, to see how this turns out potentially differently from last season.
Certainly, lots of unique rules added, changed for the season. It's going to be a big showdown and a huge challenge because it's a matter of somewhat unknown strategy coming from the Korea server. Slightly also unfamiliar in a way with the new life system compared to Season 1. Kings, they have shown a lot of what they wanted to do, how they approach when they go for the boss and the normal bases on the battlefield. So somewhat exposed information already from the matches.
A lot of information out there for the Korean server to study and learn from, and we'll see if we see another rush from Kings. We did not see that in the finals, but again, there were a lot of reasons, I think, why they went for that rush in the first matchup. Here are our Kings players, the champions of Season 2, Chabibi, Chabi Booms, and Fit89, playing a huge role. They gave big shout-outs to the Kings Asgard clan, as well as Adrian, who ended up being the one who got the crown touchdown to end up securing them that championship. Coming in, I would say, in some senses as favorites, right? They had the momentum. They've already played on stage earlier today.
Yeah, more coordination within the clan mates and the entire server, I would say, because they actually played more on-stage matches together, 200 plus. So there's a bit of more experience and less things to organize because they've done a couple of times already on stage. But against them, I'm pretty sure the Korean players have a few strategies in their stores.
Yeah, this is Gerjong Chogin, the man on the left there. Hai
Decisive on the left.
Yeah, and then on Hojing on the right there.
It's from the Tiger servers, I believe. There's a whole lot of Tigers from the Tiger clan, Tiger clan mates on the right, I believe.
Yeah, so the clans here representing different regions. So Seoul, Samgadong, and Asan are the three that are represented here in the Team Korea or Korea server lineup. So bring 3 different clans. We've seen most of our Asian teams, in fact, all of our Asian teams doing that this tournament.
Yeah, the Tiger clan is literally called Tiger Class. So those members, one of to represent coming from each clan. I like it. Let's see what they can actually show. Very powerful clans overall. All from Team Server Korea, as you can see.
We are getting ready, G-Clef, to jump into this one in just a moment. And there's a lot of points on the line, a lot of rewards on the line for everybody watching. So definitely a tense battle here. And now it's time to show if you are the best of the best. You've won the Ymir Cup, but can you beat Korea? That is the question.
There's a lot of pride for their each respective server, not just the Korea server, also King server. Since especially they were just crowned as a champion. If they go down in an event match, oh man, that's going to leave a mark, and it's going to be a history until the next season.
Yeah, that absolutely hurts. I mean, this is always how it is with games like Legend of Ymir, where you've already gotten to the top of your server, right? You've built your clan is massive, your clan gets coordinated with other clans. You're like, this is our team, we're going to go through these qualifiers, this is our server, we picked the best of our server. You know who the best of your server is, right? Everyone knows that. Then you're like, okay, how does our server compete against the other servers? Before you compete, there's a lot of trash talk. There's a lot, well, that server's not that strong. We're actually better than them, right?
There's a lot of chat going on before the actual battlefield.
There's a lot of YouTube, beef. There's all sorts of stuff going on, right? And then you get here, right? You get to prove it. And everyone here was very respectful, of course, in our top 4. But you get to prove that you're the best. As we saw Chabi Boom say earlier, the King server are the kings. But they have to prove themselves here. They got to defend the throne a little bit against the Korean server, who also probably feel like their server is the best server.
Yes, and before you actually go deep and have some clashing, if you make any mistakes, lose like 2 lives to begin with. We saw some of the players actually rotating a little too far alone in a like 2-3-man army, like party, and then they would instantly drop within the first 6-7 minutes. And that wasn't just that just did not look too good for the server at all. They lose that much power for the rest of the game, for the entire hour after that. So life system can be a little challenging here.
Now, with these evened up combat powers, even a player who's not necessarily a carry, not necessarily a top player, actually has a larger impact. So team coordination, I think, is going to be of the most importance. Like you said, moving together, making strong, decisive calls, not only within your party, but the larger clan as a whole. Maintaining that communication that they've said that a lot of these clans have said they communicate through Discord, right? But whatever service they're using to communicate with each other, everyone's going to have to be listening to the leaders, following those orders, and they have to trust that leadership, and the leadership needs to be solid because we're on just dead even footing. So one mistake can make a match like this snowball so quickly out of control when everyone's at the exact same power level.
Yeah, because we have so many players, so many different clans. Usually, there's one big commander for the entire server, and then the party leaders, and then the clan leaders. So usually, the commander would send a message to the clan leader, and then it goes through the party. It branches out like that, and then if that takes a long time, if it takes more than like 3, 4, 5 seconds, that they might react, and they can be chased because it is a huge battlefield with a lot of people. So those command system has to be precise in terms of communication, and sometimes, uh, you get those weird messages in the middle. The messages can be transferred in a wrong way or with a wrong number. Let's say I toss to you, okay, we're going to base 2, and then the next message says, oh, we're going to base 1. Then there's a problem. Then there's a huge problem and a clunked up the spots that you will have in the battleground. Then that is an issue.
And you have to have a game plan for what happens at spawn based on each and every spawn location that you have, plus the scouts that you send to see the enemy spawn location, because that's also unknown. And if you don't have a plan coming into a match like this, it can create a lot of tension, right? So I think that's an edge that the Korea server definitely has, because they've been able to watch how Kings have played throughout this tournament, and they've been preparing for this matchup only specifically, whereas Kings just won, took a short break, and they have 250 people to manage to come into this server battle here, the final one, and build a strategy without knowing what Korea has been playing like. So strategy-wise, it could be a problem, but what they used so far was so clean.
So it's really hard to really predict what's going to happen, but with the matching power, I think the better idea to actually move is to move together like as a dot. Like you force all the power together. Of course, if you do it too much, You might get hit by those big AoEs easily, but still, I think it's better to collect all of your powder together and send those small parties to gather information. Not that many people, and but mainly focus on like a small dot, move together towards the center, and not work on too many different things at the same time. Choose like 1, 2, 3 different goals, not like 5 or 6 at a time. I think
Yep.
those will actually gain you a lot of benefits.
I think getting control of those towers of occupying is going to be of the most importance in the early game.
All right, we're ready to jump into the legend match of Ymir Cup Season 2. Let's go to the battlefield. Let's see where the starting points
Brazier
would
Life
be.
right there,
Oh, right
too.
there in the choke, near the choke point,
Yeah.
on the way.
Crazy that one of those Brazier Life is so centrally located right now. Will be found pretty quickly, you have to imagine. Do not yet have the spawns in, so this may be a little bit of a delay that we have. Just giving you guys the update. As you can see, no players on your screens just
Yes.
yet.
Yeah, you see, those are the choke points that you see. There are some couple of hills.
Yeah, that's where funneling through can be quite tricky. And then obviously in the zone where the Tower of Victory is, every entrance is a very narrow and thin choke point, which means that even if you are, for example, if you're the team that has less members surviving or less members in the area, if you can control that choke point, you can basically fight on even footing because so few members can actually come in and attack you at the same time, so you can equalize. But getting that control itself is often very difficult. And usually the team that has more members has control, right?
Yeah,
That's
of
why
course.
they have more members. But there are maneuvers you can make to try to disrupt the advantages that the enemy team does have.
Yeah, it's been some time that Korea Server was able to fight against the global players, and so we'll see what type, where they want to actually focus when they make these rotations, and which bases they want to catch first. 4, 5, 6, I always have the point because I do see a lot of our players from all over the world focusing heavily on the center. If they think they have the less civil power, then they will focus on the smaller size like 10, 11, or like 8 and 9, depending on where the starting point of the spawn is. You take those early bases first, gather those early buff, the base buff, level up to at least 2, and then go towards the center.
What I found
Those
was
are the
really
basics.
interesting was that Kings were willing to drop their Tower of Occupying to win the fight. They were like, okay, I see you're coming for a contest. We're going to have the best fight possible. No matter what, win the numbers game. They had such good information conveyed with their scouts about where chess was moving. They were saying, all right, Tower Occupying almost done, but let's look for this fight here. Ruin their approach. When they got there for the fight, they got completely ruined. And then the Tower of Occupying was taken afterwards, and then the next Tower of Occupying was taken. And they were taking the third one while they were also taking the Tower of Victory and chasing stragglers. I mean, they played so well. They clearly, no, I don't even call it a strategy. They adapted to the situation incredibly quickly. And that's what's so scary about Kings and why they just lifted the trophy moments ago.
Yeah, they certainly had the power advantage when they were fighting against the tower occupying easily around the boss space. They chose 2 first, which was very lucky. Ended up being the last crown touchdown point because I think they wanted to get the central point controlled and then the side later. Because at first you don't know exactly where the starting point of the opponent is, as you mentioned. So and then you go immediately in the battlefield and then you find it out very soon, very soon. So before that, you go with the plan A. Okay, let's go to the center. Try to see if there's any opponent, and then if there are lots of contests, then we go back to the boss space, which favors us a little more. I think those were going to be like the plan A, B that you have at the beginning of the battlefield phase. Uh, we also thought we were going into the game, but it seems like the battlefield is not completely open yet. So we need to wait for the opening time.
Yeah, it's just going to take a little bit longer, guys. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for your patience.
Subscribe
Yes.
is the perfect. This is a
It's the
perfect
perfect time.
opportunity
I mentioned
to hit that
yesterday,
word.
you know, obviously everyone who's played in Legend of Ymir understands that it takes a long time to get everyone in when something like this happens. So again, we do appreciate your patience. We're getting closer to that 90,000
Uh-huh.
YouTube subscriber We Made Global goal. So the YouTube we're talking about is the one that you're watching right now. If you're watching a co-streamer, for example, you might not necessarily be on this YouTube right now, but you
Yeah,
can go to We Made Global and press that subscribe button, and it really obviously helps us a lot. Helps further these events,
it
and
helps all the
it helps
players
all
to
the players get the rewards.
receive
Yeah.
these big rewards, not just the coupons. We're going to be getting extra every single big milestone on the subscriber count. So make sure to come to the official channel and also subscribe. Not only the influencers that we have, that's covering the championship as well as the official. Make sure to come and subscribe to both. Why not? I think it's a good chance, and maybe towards the end we can have some more coupons.
Yes,
There is certainly
I
a
would
chance.
expect
I
there's
would
a good chance.
expect,
We
right?
do like to give coupons away to people who watch the Ymir Cup. That's what we do. We like you're watching the Ymir Cup. We like
Mhm.
to give you a coupon. You know,
For sure,
you
I
like what
know.
we do, and we
For
like what you're
sure,
doing.
I know. There's another segment with Bella at the end, so maybe there's
Oh,
a good
Bella's
chance.
never going away. She'll be right back.
Yes, she and
She's
likely.
always waiting to come and give you guys more information, more
Hmm.
coupons, break down the tournament, interview the players. You could bet there's going to be an interview after this one, G Cliff.
Very, very likely. Uh, whether we have Team Korea server or King server winning again, uh, I think we will. I think it's actually a good idea to actually hear from both sides. Maybe only the winners, depending on how long this match would actually go. So they do have the update as okay. There's. It seems like we need some more time to actually bring everyone to the battlefield from the spawn. So it will take a couple more minutes at least to actually get the match started. But everyone is actually waiting for the system to be in the perfect setting to get into the battlefield and start the match. But it will take a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we have players from all over Asia
Hmm.
joining all at the same time. Nearly 500 all coming in all at once. So it just takes some time. So thanks for your patience.
Yeah, we're having more and more numbers. I believe we're having at least 200 more from both sides. And we're trying to match the numbers and also the power
Yeah,
level on both.
we want to
So
make
that
it the
takes
most
some more technical difficulties.
the most balanced match that you could ask
Hmm.
for. Obviously, the Korean server's been around for quite some time.
Yeah, so
So it's
Wolf, like,
tricky.
because of that, like, which one would you focus more? Would you like to like pinpoint on the ones going like scouting members that are alone, like 1, 2, 3 member party, or would you like to have a bigger like a war line clashing instead of focus on that instead?
So for me, if
Hmm.
I were okay, let's say I'm not an Apex player, right? I'm like
The
just
top tier.
below them,
Uh
but
huh.
I'm quite strong. And I'm playing Archer, for example. I think my what I would like to do, like my role, I would enjoy, especially because of how this game works right now. I'd be
Hmm.
like, I want to be the guy who's on the edge. I'm just constantly scouting, but because I'm a lot of the time you send weaker scouts. Because I'm a stronger one, I could take out 4 scouts, for example,
Hmm.
by myself with no issue. I would love to take that role, run around the map, and just constantly be delivering information and punishing people who took the risky scout group. Now, I might get punished if there's a scout group of like a full party of 8 people,
Uh huh.
for example. So that'd be something I really personally
Yeah.
enjoy if I were a player in this match.
It's really rough. Matching numbers, you do need a lot of berserkers in front to actually uh, reduce the damage taken, so you can get a lot more shots in you. So you will, I guess, buy more time for the entire team. The back line of archers to do damage, because we're thinking if it's like even footing, same power level, then the archers. It's better to have a lot of archers, but I think it's about reducing the damage coming in to your, not just to yourself, your front line, which rune fighters can do a little bit, but Berserker is actually going to do a lot more
I remember
in
Berserker
terms of
actually just
their buffs that they have.
yeah they just end up being a lot tankier.
Hmm.
So Rune Fighter is for when you have a setup moment, which requires usually a Berserker and
Yeah,
a lot
get
of
those rune
backup.
energy, get a lot of knocks, but Berserkers, they can also taunt, take a lot less damage. Also, yeah, some CCs, some of those big skills can also land.
Berserker's important for controlling the choke point, uh,
Hmm.
peeling for the crown carrier. Although, unfortunately, so far in Emir Cup Season 2, we have not had a real battle for the crown. We had a lot in Season 1. That happened a lot.
Oh
Season
yeah,
2
a lot
hasn't been
more.
so much.
Hmm. And some, yeah, taunt. It's a small AOE, but some stuns as well in the front. I wish to see like one-on-one berserker fight. carry on. But it's a hard thing to do in this big battlefield.
Yeah, it's a team game, you know.
Hmm.
I think that because of the power level being even, archers who are already the bread and butter, most important class in Legend of Ymir right now will have an even bigger role to play because when you are both, if you've followed other games where you have, ranged characters attacking each other, Legend of Ymir is the same, but often it's about the power level, right? Which archers are stronger.
Oh yeah.
But if they're the same, the only difference maker is how many you have. Having
How many
20
you
extra
had?
ones
Hmm.
can turn a fight so quickly, and then it starts to snowball. And then you've got to realize you're losing the fight. You got to know when to fight. Having the control of chokes can give you a concave, right? So if you have the outward concave, that means more of your archers are firing
Hmm.
than the enemy archers. So if they're trying to go into a choke point, only, let's say, if you have a concave of 10 archers and then there's 20 archers on the other side, but only 3 can fire, you win that fight, even if they have more archers than you, because you only have 3 firing. So like that kind of stuff will matter a lot in this match, I think.
Yeah, so we do have a slight issue with everyone bringing everyone into the battlefield, and that issue needs to be resolved, and we need some more time. It seems like. So before we go into the battlefield, we are going to be taking a small break, and when we fix the issue with everyone joining into the battlefield, we're 100% ready. When that's the case, we will come back real soon. But before that, we're going to be taking a small break. So do not go anywhere. Stay in chat. We will see you right there. So just a couple of minutes. We'll see you right there.
The battle for the throne, Ymir Cup, reignited. Welcome to the battlefield where every server's top clans wage their fiercest war. The regional qualifiers in each division determine the winning server. From that server, only its top 5 clans can compete in the Ymir Cup World Championship. Up to 500 players can enter, regardless of server. When the match begins for your server, the Ymir Cup icon lights up on the right of your minimap. Press it to enter the battlefield. To begin, you're randomly placed at one of 6 starting points. When defeated, you can resurrect at one of these points and rejoin the battle, though the starting points themselves keep changing. Early in the battle, securing bases is key. Capturing a base earns points and various buffs, and lets you teleport straight to it to gain the upper hand. And the more bases you hold, the stronger those buffs become. Bases come in 2 types, normal and boss. Normal bases can be captured by interacting with the occupying stone. For boss bases, first destroy the Tower of Occupying at the entrance, then interact with the occupying stone to capture it. Normal bases can be recaptured freely, but boss bases, once captured, can never be recaptured, so be strategic about your captures. If you couldn't secure a boss base, try a different strategy. Capture normal bases for buffs or recapture enemy bases to weaken their forces. Which bases to target, how to play it out. The tide of battle is yours to turn. If you are defeated in battle, you can resurrect and rejoin the fight, but you can only resurrect up to 3 times. So watch the battlefield and tread carefully. Luckily, 2 types of braziers appear randomly across the map. Pick one up to restore resurrection counts for your clan or your server. If casualties pile up on your server, use braziers strategically to keep the fight going. Once you've secured enough bases, the endgame begins, the fight for the Tower of Victory. Destroying the Tower of Victory earns points and brings out the crown, the key to victory or defeat. Once the crown appears, bases can no longer be captured, so timing the tower's destruction is crucial. From here, all forces converge on the final battle for the crown. To win, you must claim the crown and carry it to the target zone. The moment the crown is taken, the crown holder bears the weight of the crown, and victory now rests on the whole server, working as one. Server members must protect the crown holder and rally together to reach the target zone. The target zone forms at one of the 3 boss bases, and you can check it on the minimap. If the crown holder is defeated while on the move, the crown drops where they fell. And if a player from the enemy server grabs the dropped crown, the target zone changes. A crown touchdown is worth the most points in the Ymir Cup, so the outcome stays uncertain until the final moments. Whichever server lands the crown touchdown can swing the entire match. The final clash over the crown, where a single choice decides the winner. If time runs out in a close match with no crown touchdown, the outcome is decided by the points earned during the match. Points can be earned by destroying the Tower of Victory and Towers of Occupying, as well as capturing bases, defeating players, holding the crown, and landing crown touchdowns, as shown in the scoring table. If the final scores are tied, the tiebreaker rules decide which server wins. The stage is set. Glory awaits the victor alone. Stake the honor of your server and march toward final victory. And in that moment of glory, who will claim the crown of victory? See it all unfold in the Ymir Cup World Championship Season 2. The battle for the throne, Ymir Cup, reignited. battle for the throne, Ymir Cup, reignited. Welcome to the battlefield where every server's top clans wage their fiercest war. The regional qualifiers in each division determine the winning server. From that server, only its top 5 clans can compete in the Ymir Cup World Championship. Up to 500 players can enter, regardless of server. When the match begins for your server, the Ymir Cup icon lights up on the right of your minimap. Press it to enter the battlefield. To begin, you're randomly placed at one of 6 starting points. When defeated, you can resurrect at one of these points and rejoin the battle, though the starting points themselves keep changing. Early in the battle, securing bases is key. Capturing a base earns points and various buffs, and lets you teleport straight to it to gain the upper hand. And the more bases you hold, the stronger those buffs become. Bases come in 2 types, normal and boss. Normal bases can be captured by interacting with the occupying stone. For boss bases, first destroy the Tower of Occupying at the entrance, then interact with the occupying stone to capture it. Normal bases can be recaptured freely, but boss bases, once captured, can never be recaptured, so be strategic about your captures. If you couldn't secure a boss base, try a different strategy. Capture normal bases for buffs or recapture enemy bases to weaken their forces. Which bases to target, how to play it out. The tide of battle is yours to turn. If you are defeated in battle, you can resurrect and rejoin the fight, but you can only resurrect up to 3 times. So watch the battlefield and tread carefully. Luckily, 2 types of braziers appear randomly across the map. Pick one up to restore resurrection counts for your clan or your server. If casualties pile up on your server, use braziers strategically to keep the fight going. Once you've secured enough bases, the endgame begins, the fight for the Tower of Victory. Destroying the Tower of Victory earns points and brings out the crown, the key to victory or defeat. Once the crown appears, bases can no longer be captured, so timing the tower's destruction is crucial. From here, all forces converge on the final battle for the crown. To win, you must claim the crown and carry it to the target zone. The moment the crown is taken, the crown holder bears the weight of the crown, and victory now rests on the whole server, working as one. Server members must protect the crown holder and rally together to reach the target zone. The target zone forms at one of the 3 boss bases, and you can check it on the minimap. If the crown holder is defeated while on the move, the crown drops where they fell. And if a player from the enemy server grabs the dropped crown, the target zone changes. A crown touchdown is worth the most points in the Ymir Cup, so the outcome stays uncertain until the final moments. Whichever server lands the crown touchdown can swing the entire match. The final clash over the crown, where a single choice decides the winner. If time runs out in a close match with no crown touchdown, the outcome is decided by the points earned during the match. Points can be earned by destroying the Tower of Victory and Towers of Occupying, as well as capturing bases, defeating players, holding the crown, and landing crown touchdowns, as shown in the scoring table. If the final scores are tied, the tiebreaker rules decide which server wins. The stage is set. Glory awaits the victor alone. Stake the honor of your server and march toward final victory. And in that moment of glory, who will claim the crown of victory? See it all unfold in the Ymir Cup World Championship Season 2. The battle for the throne, Ymir Cup, reignited.
Good luck, they're gonna have a long break. So let's see what we got here. Can we get this guy? No, that's it.
The battle for the throne, Ymir Cup, reignited. Welcome to the battlefield where every server's top clans wage their fiercest war. The regional qualifiers in each division determine the winning server. From that server, only its top 5 clans can compete in the Ymir Cup World Championship. Up to 500 players can enter, regardless of server. When the match begins for your server, the Ymir Cup icon lights up on the right of your minimap. Press it to enter the battlefield. To begin, you're randomly placed at one of 6 starting points. When defeated, you can resurrect at one of these points and rejoin the battle, though the starting points themselves keep changing. Early in the battle, battle, securing bases is key. Capturing a base earns points and various buffs, and lets you teleport straight to it to gain the upper hand. And the more bases you hold, the stronger those buffs become. Bases come in two types, normal and boss. Normal bases can be captured by interacting with the occupying stone. For boss bases, first destroy the Tower of Occupying at the entrance, then interact with the occupying stone to capture it. Normal bases can be recaptured freely, but boss bases, once captured, can never be recaptured, so be strategic about your captures. If you couldn't secure a boss base, try a different strategy. Capture normal bases for buffs or recapture enemy bases to weaken their forces. Which bases to target, how to play it out. The tide of battle is yours to turn. If you are defeated in battle, you can resurrect and rejoin the fight, but you can only resurrect up to 3 times. So watch the battlefield and tread carefully. Luckily, 2 types of braziers appear randomly across the map. Pick one up to restore resurrection counts for your clan or your server. If casualties pile up on your server, use braziers strategically to keep the fight going. Once you've secured enough bases, the endgame begins, the fight for the Tower of Victory. Destroying the Tower of Victory earns points and brings out the crown, the key to victory or defeat. Once the crown appears, bases can no longer be captured, so timing the tower's destruction is crucial. From here, all forces converge on the final battle for the crown. To win, you must claim the crown and carry it to the target zone. The moment the crown is taken, the crown holder bears the weight of the crown, and victory now rests on the whole server, working as one. Server members must protect the crown holder and rally together to reach the target zone. The target zone forms at one of the 3 boss bases, and you can check it on the minimap. If the crown holder is defeated while on the move, the crown drops where they fell. And if a player from the enemy server grabs the dropped crown, the target zone changes. A crown touchdown is worth the most points in the Ymir Cup, so the outcome stays uncertain until the final moments. Whichever server lands the crown touchdown can swing the entire match. The final clash over the crown, where a single choice decides the winner. If time runs out in a close match with no crown touchdown, the outcome is decided by the points earned during the match. Points can be earned by destroying the Tower of Victory and Towers of Occupying, as well as capturing bases, defeating players, holding the crown, and landing crown touchdowns, as shown in the scoring table. If the final scores are tied, the tiebreaker rules decide which server wins. The stage is set. Glory awaits the victor alone. Stake the honor of your server and march toward final victory. And in that moment of glory, who will claim the crown of victory? See it all unfold in the Ymir Cup World Championship Season 2. The battle for the throne, Ymir Cup, reignited.
Alright guys, I think that's it for me. I didn't expect this delay, very long delay. It's almost 6 a.m. in my place. So I'll have just to end the stream here. I'll see you on the next one. And peace out. Oh, one thing I want you to remember. All the coupon codes that we have seen here, I'm gonna try to put them on the description of the video once it's finished. Alright, okay. See you on the next one.